Bringing you those feel-good vibes on a Wednesday morning on Expresso. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Now, we've all heard that a healthy mind means a healthy body. But what if a disease like cancer can actually be cured with nothing but the mind? Well, Ewan hopes to find the answer to that very question.
With the winter flu already in full swing, everyone's worst fear is getting sick. But what if sickness is just a state of mind? Can you actually think yourself better? Well, in studies covering 4 decades, Harvard University psychology professor Dr. leigh-anne has shown that mental attitude can reverse the effects of aging and improve physical health. Now she wants to test that theory on cancer. Dr. leigh-anne, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.
Welcome to South Africa once again.
Thank you.
So for those viewers who missed your visit to us last time around, please explain to us or just break down the theory of mindfulness and how that works.
Mindfulness is the process of actively noticing new things. When you actively notice new things, that puts you in the present, makes you sensitive to context and perspective. It's the essence of engagement. And what happens is, as you're noticing these new things, about things you thought you knew, you come to see, gee, you didn't know it as well as you had thought. Then I use this idea of noticing new things to recognize that much of what the medical world teaches us may not be quite as accurate as we might believe. People experience symptoms, but the symptoms are never exactly the same. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse, sometimes they don't even exist. And so the question is, do you have the disease when you don't have any symptoms? And because when the doctor tells us we have this disease, we don't pay any attention to ourselves. We just assume it's going to take a particular course. So we mindlessly respond to our own disease. We don't have a chance to help ourselves.
Now, this brings you to my next point. You did a study on a group of senior citizens called the counterclockwise study. You literally caused a kind of a reverse in aging and quite a stir as well, but you plan to use the same technique on women with stage 4 breast cancer.
So for the original counterclockwise study, what we did was retrofit the retreat to 20 years earlier. And they were going to live as if, in fact, it was at 20-year earlier time. So they spoke about the past in the present tense and went about the day where we had all sorts of activities for them and so on. At the end of it, and we had a comparison group. At the end of this, we found, we had taken photographs and all sorts of measures before this week had happened. At the end, we found out their vision improved, their hearing improved, their cognitive functioning improved, their strength improved, and they looked younger. So this was phenomenal.
Absolutely. What is your best hopes using this technique, specifically addressing cancer?
Well, my best hope, although I don't know that I'd put all of my life savings on it, is that it may result in spontaneous remissions. That's the strongest case. I'm reasonably sure that we'll get some positive change, so somewhere between people will feel better and many of the symptoms will diminish to a full recovery. And what we're doing, essentially, is taking women to a retreat, turning the clock back, now not 20 years, because chances are their cancer manifested itself 5 years ago or 8 years ago, and that will be a decision as soon as we know who the particular participants are. They will live for that week as if it's that earlier time, and then we'll teach them to be mindful by my understanding of that. And basically, they're going to live a stress-free week. And here's something that I'm saying first on your show, but that I deeply believe, that the stress that people experience is probably the major culprit across all disease and is severely understudied in this context. And so they will live for a week stress-free. And that also, I think, will have a very positive effect on the disease process.
Sure. Well, we wish you all of the best with this journey ahead. I mean, you've got years and years of research to back it up as well. But thank you so much for joining us. And once again, all the best for you and your team as well. Well, there we go. Your health really is a state of mind. Well, if you would like to find out a little bit more information on Dr. Lange's work, you can go to mindfulnessinstitute.com. And if you also want to find out a bit more about mindfulness programs in South Africa, you can log on to www.mindfulrevolution.co.za.